Hi guys, Chris Mohan here from the MMA Superfan. Today I'm joined by the one Bantamweight MMA World Champion, Fabricio Andrade. How are you doing today, champ?
I'm very good, thank you.
Nice. All right. I wouldn't want to waste any more time, so just want to get straight into your next fight. Jonathan Haggerty, what how do you feel like getting this shot?
Feel good, it wasn't like all planned until I got offered to fight for the kickboxing world title. But when I got the offer, it felt right for me. I've been competing in kickboxing for a long time, but I never had the opportunity to become a world champion of kickboxing. And I think now I got the opportunity, so it makes sense for me to take it.
All right. A lot of people online, when I'm reading some articles, they said that you're sort of stepping into Jonathan Haggerty's world. A lot of people kind of forgot that kickboxing was where you first made a start into your martial arts career. Can you just share a bit more about your kickboxing journey?
Yeah, I've been fighting kickboxing since I was 16, I think 15, 16. And then when I left Brazil to China, and the time I wasn't planning to fight in MMA. It wasn't on my plans to come back to fight MMA. I had like two hard losses on the beginning of my career, so I decided to just focus on kickboxing and striking in general. So when I went to China, actually I was fighting only kickboxing. I got a MMA fight at the time, but it was just like because I was in a difficult financial situation. But my focus was mainly on kickboxing, and I fought a lot in China. A lot of fights, a lot of good opponents. So I was like really enjoying. And when I signed with one for the first time, my contract also included kickboxing and Muay Thai. So I was expecting at the time when I signed with them to fighting for kickboxing, but they never sent me an offer to fight kickboxing because they was more interested in seeing me fighting MMA. So I'm definitely familiar with the kickboxing rules. And for those people, I think a lot of people who say that they don't really understand what they are talking about, because if we see what is happening, like Haggerty never fought kickboxing before. He's a Muay Thai fighter. So it's kind of we are meeting in the middle, but I'm more familiar with the kickboxing rules than he is.
That's a good point. That's a good point. All right. So, yep. For your fight camp for Haggerty, what's the special things or the different things that you have been putting into work at Tiger Muay Thai?
For my MMA fights, I always like keep working on my striking, because you never see me shooting for takedowns when I'm fighting MMA. So I didn't have to change much. I just actually had to reduce a lot of like things that I have to do for fighting MMA, like training wrestling, jiu-jitsu, grappling. So I don't have to do those stuffs for this fight. So it's just like kind of like I reduce my training, just focus on striking and Muay Thai, boxing, pads, those stuff. So it's been like very enjoyable for me to be able to don't worry about those other stuffs.
Does this sort of give you like some flashback to the start of your career, the excitement, only focusing on one discipline, and kickboxing is also your forte? So, yep, does it like sort of gives you like a flashback, like making you feel like, wow, this is it? Like, do you feel like this is a chance where you finally like go on to achieve something great in kickboxing?
Yeah, for sure. As like I said, as the first time that I have the opportunity to become world champion, and I have that in the biggest kickboxing and Muay Thai promotion that we are having right now. One is dominating the kickboxing and the Muay Thai. And I have opportunity to become, for the first time, to become world champion in a promotion like that. It's not an opportunity that many people are gonna have. So I gotta make the most out of it. And on the train, I'm just like I'm surprising that I still got a lot to improve. I keep learning, improving like kicks, knee, everything is improving. So it's being very enjoyable, like I say, because I really like to train like the strike part. When I fight for MMA, I gotta be like more focused in defending takedowns and things like that, because I like to keep the fight standing. But for this fight, I'm just like improving my skill standing up. So it's been very enjoyable, and I think even after this fight, when I come back for MMA, my strike also is gonna be in another level.
Perfect. So when you mentioned that your striking is going to be another level, I'm guessing you're still working with John Hutchinson for this kickboxing world title fight.
Yes, I still keep working the boxing with him.
How about the other aspects of your kickboxing game? Is there a particular coach for you at Tiger Muay Thai, maybe?
Yeah, I have Crew Nim. He's a Muay Thai coach. I have been work with him since I joined Tiger Muay Thai. So he knows a lot, like my game, my style, and we have very good connection on the pads as well. So I've been working with him all my fights in my MMA fights in one championship, and of course for this one we have been working a lot as well and try to correct little details to make everything perfect for this fight.
All right. I think I've also heard on the Honey Badger Spotify podcast, I think you did one there, that you said that you shared a bit about your training session with John Hutchinson. Like you were telling, like he was so frustrated at the start because all you had to do was practice your jab. How much has it evolved today? How has your relationship with him also built throughout the years?
Yeah, it's been awesome, to have like people like that is really like trying to make you improve, and he's very like he works a lot on details. He sees like what you need to improve, and he keep working on that until you get it. So like we still work on the jab, nothing changes. We still work on that jab, but uh try to focus on different stuff that fit work, things like that, to keep improving. Always trying to find something that I can correct that gonna makes me a little bit better. Because when you get to certain point, as about the small details that gonna make differences.
Perfect. All right. So yeah, just want to ask because I think one of the most strongest part of your game that we fans or analysts have seen is your power. What's the secret to Fabricio Andrade's power in the 4 ounce gloves, in your opinion?
I don't really know, because I think it's just natural. I have like it's funny because I got like feedbacks from training partners that they always say I always used to train with people that was heavier than me, and even those guys, they used to say like that I have like more power than I should have for my weight. But I was never like really really confident on that. I Even though I heard a lot of people saying that, but I didn't have the confidence. So now I kind of like understand more the power that I have. But then I try to control it more, to use like when I need to use. But I think it's more like the natural power that I have.
All right. And because like it's a bit hard to find footages of your kickboxing fights, but back then as well, like when you fought kickboxing, how many ounce gloves do you use to fight in?
I think 8 or 10.
All right. And today at Tiger Muay Thai, normally when you're training for a fight camp, do you still use 8, 10, or maybe heavier?
I use 14.
All right. All right. Maybe that's the secret to your power.
Maybe.
And yeah, just wanted to ask, haven't read much about this, but who is normally your primary training partners whenever you're getting ready for a fight camp?
I always try to keep changing, because in Tiger we always get a big rotation of people coming and going all the time. So for this fight, I'm like I have some like Alex, that a new guy who signed with one championship now. I have Felipe Lobo, who is he's ranked in Muay Thai as well. He's in so I got like a couple guys like that they stay here. Faria as well. He's fighting for the one Friday night, and I got a couple of guys like that they stay here, and so I try to keep getting them rounds with them often. But I also try to keep like bringing new people in for my sparring, so I have like different looks and different work with different styles as well. You know.
Great, great. All right, just another one more question regarding that. Like, you know, just about maybe 2020 when you first made your one championship debut, like you were that young guy that you mentioned earlier, like your friends that just joined one championship trying to make your way on top. But right now, you know, you have the MMA world title, and right now you sort of can be a role model or an example to these young fighters. What kind of advice do you share whenever whenever you talk to Felipe Lobo or the upcoming one championship stars who are training at Tiger Muay Thai? Do you have any advice for them? Do they look up to you?
Yeah, you know, I think the first thing you need to do is work hard, you know, and you need to stay focused and really like believe in yourself, you know, because things don't doesn't happen like fast as you might think is it gonna happen, you know. I always like thought that everything that I was going to do was going to be faster than I expect, and it normally isn't. You know, it take a long time for things to happen, so you must to have like the focus and keep working hard, even though like things is still not happening for you. But if you can keep that focus and keeps like working hard between the time, eventually the things will happen, you know. So it's like more about like trust the process and stay working hard between that time.
Brilliant. And that focus as well has, you know, you said like you always achieve your dreams faster than expected. Another one of your biggest accomplishment over the last, I think maybe last year or so, was you buying your mom a house. Not many athletes can do that. Was that something you envisioned happening like maybe when you were in your 30s? Or did you already know that, all right, I'm on to winning the world title, and this is my first thing I want to do when I get the gold?
You know, I always had the vision on my head that I want to do things like that, like buy her house. I have more things that I want to do in the future, so stay on my head the whole time. But I didn't really like put a expiry date for when I was going to do that, you know. And last time I was in Brazil, I was still not sure if I was going to able to do that, but I started to think and see what I could do, and then it come up that I was able to buy her house in that time, you know. So I had like always the thing on the back of my head, but I just like let things flow the way it was going, and then eventually like it got to a point that I could do that, you know. And of course that makes me very happy, not just for be able to do that, but to see the difference that making in her life and my family's life as well, you know.
Yeah, and I'm guessing this small or big accomplishments, whichever way you like to put it, does it sort of drive you to even like achieve greater heights in one championship?
Yes, for sure. You know, that's why I'm taking this fight now. This is a challenge that I need. You know, I like to be challenged. I like to do things that people say I cannot do, and this is one of the fights that it puts me in a difficult situation, and that's where I want to be. You know.
Yeah, as difficult as it may sound, you know, you have fought some difficult fights and you have come out on top. And so, yeah, let's get into Jonathan Haggerty. Like, what's his most dangerous weapons from watching his past tapes or just from seeing some of his fights in one championship?
You know, he's very skilled. You know, I don't want to like take him for guarantee, you know, like I think kind of like Nongo did that a little bit, you know. So he showed on that fight against Nongo that he can be very dangerous. So I think he got a lot of skills. He been fighting like some tough opponents, but I believe that I'm more powerful, I'm stronger, and I'm able to knock him out in this fight.
All right. Not like, for example, Haggerty, like I don't think he has as much finishes as you do in the one circle. So how would you rate his knockout power? I mean, yes, we all saw that he knocked out Nongho, but it hasn't been something consistent in his career as
Mm.
opposed to you. So yeah, can you just talk a bit more about his knockout power or his knockout win against Nongho?
Yeah, I definitely don't think he is a KO power. I don't think he have that knockout power on his game. He's more like a point fighter. And when he's fighting Muay Thai, he's dangerous with the elbows because he can cut the opponent and you can do like some damage. But coming for the kickboxing, he cannot use elbows, so you already gotta take that away from him. And besides that, I don't think he have power, that much of knockout power. So that's not something that's worrying me. I'll go against Nongo. I think is like if you fight Muay Thai with MMA gloves, is a bit more dangerous, and especially if you take your opponent, like if you don't give that enough credit, you are putting yourself in a position that you could get cut, and I think that's what happened with Nongo. With MMA gloves, you cannot afford to get cut like that because you can get knocked out. But with boxing gloves without elbows, I don't think he is dangerous for me, and I don't think I have to be worried about his power coming from this fight.
That's a very good, you got a very good eye, I must say, because like every time Jonathan Haggerty like enters the pocket, I always see like one of the first weapons he throws is always his vertical or horizontal elbows. And but you, on the other hand, you can, I've seen you advance against Quan, John Lineker and all that. You can throw, you can mix. So without the elbows, how do you think would be Haggerty's style when he's gonna be trading like gloves with you?
I think that's hard to say because we never saw him fight a kickbox, So I think we're gonna have to wait to the fight to see it.
All right, brilliant. And like I've read a couple of interviews as well, or on his Instagram, he seems rather confident of his chances to finish you. What is your response to this? All his smack talk and all.
I think he's trying to convince himself that he can do something that he can't.
I love your answers, man. I love your answers. So yeah, like when you said that you can go on to knock out Haggerty, where do you see this bout ending? Like it's a 5-round war. Do you plan to knock him out in the later rounds, or do you plan to get the job done early?
I plan to knock him out, inside of 5 round. It doesn't matter when, it doesn't matter how. I'm just gonna take him out of there inside of 5.
What will be sweeter, an early knockout or a late knockout?
I think maybe I want to make him suffer a little bit, give him some pain, and then knock him out after that.
That's good. That's good. I love your answer. And yep, just away from the fight, I just want to get your opinion on what's the meaning of martial arts to you.
Martial arts is everything for me, is what I have been doing since I was 13, is what give me a light way of living for me, and change my life, and it's still changing my life until now, give me like many opportunities that I was probably never going to get those opportunities, give me a name, give me as who I am, martial arts is who I am. I'm here today because of martial arts, so as part of my life.
And also, I just want to ask about your fight name. I haven't read this anywhere yet, but Wonder Boy, has it always been a fight name which stuck with you from day one?
No, I got this nickname when I went to fight in Kazakhstan, and then I was 17 at the time, and then I was fighting like a older guy, and then he's a very like experienced opponent, and everybody like he was like two weights heavier than me, and everybody was like a bit impressive that I was taking the fight, so they start to call me Wonder Boy, and kind of like I like it, so it stick with me until now.
That's nice. I believe it's a very catchy name, Wonder Boy. Whenever I'm writing, I always like to include Wonder Boy. It's a very fitting nickname for you, really. All right.
Thank you.
And yep, at Tiger Muay Thai, you're not the only champion there. Of course, we also have our light heavyweight and heavyweight world champion, Anatoly Malikin. Can you talk us through about a bit about your friendship, about how he is like during training and so on?
He's a very nice guy, very positive, good people, good person to have around, always happy, as he's just who the person that you see when he's giving his interviews, when he's fighting, the way he reacts, he's that person every day, He's happy, excited, and always like changing the atmosphere around him.
How is it like to share the mats with Malikin? Does he bring a different aura, a different attitude whenever you're in a shared training session with him?
Yeah, always like pushing each other, like motivating, like positive, like trying to beat each other, even though he's much heavier than me. Like when we're running, he tried to catch me, sometimes he tried to be faster than me. So it's just like I say, he's a good person to have around.
Nice. And he also seems like a very family man. His wife is very supportive of his career. He also like loves spending time with them at the gym. Have you seen like them bond together, or it's just him alone at the gym normally?
No, they are together many times. Sometimes she come check out the session, do some videos. She's also very involved, like in his career. Try to support him and help him a lot. So it's very common to see them both together in the gym.
All right. So yep, moving away from Malikin's family, you're a good-looking Brazilian guy, man. What's anything happening in your personal life? Do you want to move on to that stage?
Yes, eventually, for sure. Eventually, I wanna have family and kind of be like him.
You look a bit shy there, so I'll ask, are you like dating anyone right now, or is it a secret? It's all right, but are you like trying to spend your free time looking around for love of your life, I guess?
I'm dating someone. Yes.
Perfect, man. I wish you all the best in a relationship, of course.
Thank
So
you.
yeah. Okay, just want to get some of your thoughts, about Demetrius Johnson. Just recently on one of his podcast episodes, he said that you're his favorite athlete to watch. This wasn't the first time he said it. I think he said it in a previous Joe Rogan episode podcast as well. So yeah, just want to get your thoughts. How is it like getting a praise from someone as highly regarded as Mighty Mouse?
Yes, he's an amazing person as well. He's been like talking good about me, and then it's kind of like a very like motivational for me. To see a guy like him talk like good things about me, and saying that I'm a good talent, that I can be a big name. Like he is. So it's very, I take it as very motivational for me to keep working hard and to keep doing what I'm doing.
All right. And did you like catch his last fight against Adriano Moraes?
Yeah.
All right. What's your opinion? Like, can you draw back from his performance against Moraes?
Yeah, they fought three times, right? So I think the first fight was a bit like a surprise for everybody, to see him get knocked out like that. But in a fight, that always can happen. But after the two fights after that, he showed that why he's the best, like striking wise, takedowns, everything. Like he's fast, a lot of feints, he got a good like striking game. He's a very complete, he can do everything in a fight, and it's very hard for anybody to try to defend against that, when you don't know what your opponent gonna do.
True. And yep, I'm pretty sure you do know that he's sort of like contemplating retirement or so on. Like, you and Johnson just one weight division apart. If he decides to step inside the circle for maybe his last MMA fight, would you like to be the guy who takes up that offer?
Yes, for sure. 100%.
All right. What would it be like, or what would it mean to you, like getting someone as highly regarded as him to like fight against you?
I think besides like everything, I think that was just going to be like a very like entertaining fight, me and him, because of our styles. But to fight a guy like him with the whole history that he have in different promotion and come to one championship, and to be able to do a last fight against him, that would be definitely going to be amazing if I was going to get the opportunity to do that.
All right, brilliant. And yeah, if you have one sort of advice or message to Demetrius Johnson right now, what would it be?
Man, I don't think I just like I have to say thank you for him, but keep like saying good things about me. That's the only thing I have to say to him. I need to ask him for advice,
Perfect, perfect. All right, yep. I won't keep you for too long anymore, like maybe about 10 minutes. Is that all right with you?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Just want to get a bit of some of your predictions, for some upcoming blockbuster fights we have. Of course, the first one on the list we have is Super Leg versus Rotang. In your views, how do you see this fight like evolving or panning out?
Man, this is gonna be a great fight. Two of the best Muay Thai fighters right now, and in a division that is a very tough division as well. I think Rotan, he got a very good boxing, a lot of power on his hands, a very aggressive style, you know, and I think like he can knock out anybody. But when we see like super leg style, also like he fights very well against guy who comes forward because he uses his elbows as a counter very well against punch, and his kicks. His nickname is the kick machine. So he kicks very fast, hard kicks. So I think it's gonna be a great fight. It's hard to pick one winner on this fight because it's a very high level, and small details gonna make a lot of difference on this fight. But my prediction, I would pick Superlek to come out as winner of this fight.
All right, Super League has sort of a very interesting thing at one championship because personally, from my eyes, I feel that his skill set is more suited to Muay Thai. But he is the kickboxing world champion. But earlier this year, when he fought Muay Thai, I think the whole world saw that, man, he's even more unstoppable in Muay Thai. Do you see the same? Do you have that same eye when you look at him fighting in the under the Muay Thai rule set?
Yeah, I think definitely Muay Thai rules suits him better than kickboxing rules.
All right. And yep, another sort of prediction I have is Stem Fatex versus Ham Seo Hee, another fight for gold. What's your thoughts on this fight?
This is gonna be a good fight as well, but I think Stamp is in a very good moment, in her MMA career. I think right now in MMA she's doing better than she did in kickboxing Muay Thai before. So I think all the momentum like is favorable for her, and I think she's gonna be able to finally become a world champion in MMA right now. Sorry,
Yeah,
it cut.
sorry. My mic was muted. But yeah, sorry, I just want to backtrack a bit on Super League versus Rotang. I think in a previous interview with South China Morning Post, you mentioned that you would be keen to fight either man because they're having some issues with their division and so on. So I just want to ask your thoughts. How serious are you on taking that offer to fight two of the best stand-up artists?
Right now it's hard to say. First I got Haggerty, after I got to defend my MMA title. Of course I'm a fighter. If the opportunity come, if it's the right moment to take, of course I will take. But right now I have other things to worry about, so you gotta go step by step. And but we are fighters, I'm sure there's the same for them. If you got a contract with anybody's name, you sign and you fight. That's what we do.
Yep, perfect. And I also believe that your style, highly explosive, very out of the box, you are not readable at all. It'll only make it a bit more entertaining for the fans, right? Especially against someone like Super Leg or Rockdown. Do you see it the same way?
Yeah, I think now I'm in a moment that any fight that I take with any of those guys, it would be entertaining. Any of those fights would be very entertaining for the fans.
All right. Do you know much about Smila Sundel? Have you watched some of her fights before?
Yeah, I did watch some of her fights.
All right. And Smila Sundel as well, she has another world title defense coming up next. How do you see her fight going?
I think this is gonna be a very interesting match. Just I don't think nobody have idea of what's gonna happen. Alicia is very dominating in her division, and like she showed on her last fight that she, even though she was in a more than 1 year break, she come back and she stopped Janet Todd. So there's no doubt that she's a very skilled fighter, and she's stepping in for a bigger challenge. She's going up division to fight a girl that's much bigger than she is. So it's gonna be very interesting to see. Of course, Samila has also been very dominating in her division, and she's very tall and very aggressive, especially with the MMA gloves. So it's gonna be a very interesting matchup to see what's gonna happen.
All right. How do you see this fight? Who do you see winning? Alicia or Smila?
Man, this one I have to stay. I can say how it's gonna play, because is like I say, at least it's stepping up a division, is a hard fight to have an idea of what's gonna happen.
All right. Fair point. And also, yeah, just want to ask you about your career back, maybe the last 5 minutes. How much has your life changed since becoming a one world champion?
Man, um, I mean, it's changed a lot. Like, I think more about the way that people sees me. When you become world champion, now you are the champion, so people kind of like see you a bit different. But for me, I'm still doing the same thing. I wake up the same time, I do the same train, I eat the same thing. So my life, I try to keep the same. Because I'm still very young, I'm still learning a lot, I'm still improving every day. So I try, besides like all the outside things is changing, like inside I try to keep the same, and keep doing the same thing, stay humble and keep improving every day.
Yep. And also, one of your famous taglines back then, I think we used to chat on Instagram about this, when you first posted that you are the uncrowned bantamweight king. Do you still remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. So, do you see yourself sort of as the uncrowned bantamweight kickboxing king right now?
I could see myself like that if I had fight kickboxing in one, because I've been trying to fight kickboxing signs. I signed with them, but I never got the opportunity, you know. So I never fought kickboxing, so it's hard for me to say that I'm the uncrowded king, even if I don't fight kickbox in the promotion. So I think this fight is a fight to straight away crown me king.
Nice, nice. Where do you see yourself moving on after this? Of course, you have your commitments. If you win, you'll have to be committed to defending two world titles. But with Jonathan Haggerty still holding the bantamweight Muay Thai world title, do you see that as an option to be a three-sport world champion?
Yes, 100%. You know, it just makes sense. I beat him in kickboxing, knock him out in kickboxing. I'm one step close to become three-sport world champion. But like you say, I got a lot of things to business to take care of in the MMA, in the kickboxing, and maybe Muay Thai. So we will see what's gonna happen. You know, but that's 100%. There's gonna be an option after I beat him in kickboxing.
All right, and also for your fight against Haggerty, like, do you think like you would want Malikin in your corner? Will he be in your corner on fight night?
Maybe, maybe.
All right, perfect, man. Thank you so much for your time, Cham. I really appreciate it.